morning sunrise in Healdsburg. That is steam coming off the pool, steam coming out of my mouth. It's gonna warm up here in Northern California in the next few days. I heard it hailed yesterday, right as I flew in. But it's time for a 49ers salary cap update from Wine Country, as promised. On the top 51 cap, which is what matters in the off season, only the top 51 most valuable contracts count against the salary cap. The 49ers have $6.8 million of space as we speak right now. So they can sign a Justin Simmons. I'm just tossing that out there as an example because backloaded cap hit, it's going to be under 6.8 million for anybody essentially still available on the market right now. The longer term picture is what matters more, because there's so much misinformation out there. There's so many people saying, oh, well, the 49ers can't pay Brock Purdy. They can't, they can't turn around and also pay Brandon Aiyuk. This team's going to be in cap hell, this and that. They've managed their finances so well. I would argue probably better than any other team in the league, considering how strong this roster is and where they are at salary cap wise. And when June 2nd hits, Eric Armstead's money from this season is going to come off the books because they post June 1st released him. My 53-man projection for the season has the 49ers with $28 million of salary cap space. I actually do the work, right? There's a lot of people online that just like throw numbers around. They're not doing the work. Niners have $28 million in projected space right now. They're still going to be more spending, obviously, but you carry over what you don't use. So they obviously want to set themselves up for 2025 when you do have to pay Brock Purdy. And in that season, yeah, you only have 20-something guys under contract, but you do have a projected 25 million or so in space. That money from this year is going to clump together with the money from next year, and because you're going to carry it over. And the 49ers haven't even executed their restructures yet. It's, we got the pool behind me, so it's like, it's a sink every year. Every single season salary cap is a sink, and they're interconnected. So one season you're overflowing a little bit, so you let some water out of the drain. Those are restructures, and some of the restructure water that you let out of the drain is going to connect to the next year's sink. And you just have to make sure that each year's sink does not overflow. The 49ers are nowhere close to overflowing here in 2024, and they've set it up so that that sink in 2025, that's going to be able to handle a lot of the water coming out of the faucet, a lot of the expenditures. Yes, that includes Aiyuk. Yes, that includes Brock Purdy. So the 49ers, one of the cool things about this year is that Aiyuk's cap hit's 14.1 million. I just wrote a big piece on what Aiyuk's contract might look like, what his extension with the 49ers might look like. They can lower his cap hit this year from 14.1 million to about 8.1 million. They could free up 6 million of space this year just by stretching the money out with an extension. So handing out big money, handing out guaranteed money is actually a really good way to stay under the salary cap if you give it to players who are dependable, because that money is going to be efficient on your salary cap. And Brandon Aiyuk, I think, qualifies. I think Brock Purdy qualifies as dependable, although he's not eligible for an extension for another year. So the salary cap misinformation about the 49ers just got to stop. They are at 6.8 million right now, top 51 accounting. And for the 53-man projection, once we look forward to the season, once everybody counts against that roster, once that Eric Armstead money frees up, they're at 28 million. They are just fine to invest, make a run at a Super Bowl this year, and it looks like they're just fine to sustain this even after paying Brock Purdy and Brandon Aiyuk. Those are the actual salary cap numbers. You can check out all of my worksheets if you want to see my work, but trust me, it is accurate. We've been right about this every single season, so I think we will continue to be right about this offseason. Just because you see a team spending a lot doesn't mean that they're up against some kind of limit or they're in salary cap hell. You have to actually look at the dynamics of these things. They're complicated, I get it, but the theory of the sinks, every single salary cap season's a sink that you can't let overflow, that's connected to the next season. You could let some water out of the drain. I think that theory holds very, very true. All right, we're gonna have so much more from Wine Country this weekend. Healdsburg. We'll talk to you guys all soon.